I'm going to do the second one.
Okay.
This halftime show is sponsored by AT&T, and we say welcome back into Mapfre Stadium here in Columbus. Alexi Lawless, Heather O'Reilly, Sarah Walsh with you on a frigid night, but the Americans have been on fire. Let's take a look at these highlights and how this unfolded. It didn't take very long for the Americans to get on board.
Look, Carly Lloyd is on fire. She is loving it. We said she has a big smile right now, and why shouldn't she? She is getting fed. Wonderful ball. Casey Shaw wins the ball off the press into the middle right there. Thank you very much. Feeling it. There's that smile. See, look. She smells an opportunity. She senses something, and she is a goal scorer, and she will put herself in position to score as she did. Yes! New coach loving it.
He's making it look easy, and the scoring would continue. 28th minute. Again, the Americans back at it. That's Tobin feeding the ball up again, this time to Kristen Press.
Absolute dream start for the USA. And here you have Kristen Press in an individual effort. Well done. Takes it on her left. For a Swedish team that considers themselves a real contender for this Olympics, you can't get beat like that in your 18.
They came out with intensity. They came out with energy. None more so than Carly Lloyd.
You know what you need more of in your life? Carly Lloyd. Give me some more Carly Lloyd. All right. Beat you? No, I'm not going to beat you. I'm just going to turn, and I'm going to chip this. Look at this wonderful little turn here. And the touch. Oh, it's beautiful. The back of the net. There's that smile again.
So the U.S. goes into the break with a 3-zip lead. Vlatko could not have scripted this any better, Heather.
I think he must be thrilled. I think that the team is doing what he would want. They're winning the ball high up the pitch. They're getting Rose Lavelle and Lindsay Horan really involved in setting the play, and they're finishing their chances. I think that he has to be obviously relieved the way that his first game has gone, but really excited for his future.
Look, he was, as we said, given the keys to this Ferrari. Evidently, it doesn't matter who's driving it. This thing is going to drive. Now, that's not quite fair, because I think for his first game, this is important. Do they look like a completely different team? No. But ultimately, this is a team that wins. This is a team that's scoring. This is a team that's creating chances. This is a team that looks like it's having fun. So far, so good. Still early days.
We talked so much in the pregame about Carly Lloyd being re-energized. When we just saw her run into the tunnel, no one had a bigger smile on their face. And can you blame her? A couple of goals and assists already. We will be back here right after the break to get you set. Bundle up. It's going to be a great second half from Columbus. On the U.S. men against Canada. That's coming up on November 15th. But for tonight, all eyes have been on Carly Lloyd and that man right there, Vlatko Andonovski. His first game as the new coach of this team. And, man, they're looking good so far. John Strong, Allie Wagner, back after this.
Half this one's coverage tonight here in Columbus, sponsored by Volkswagen, the presenting partner of U.S. Soccer. 3-0 for the United States over Sweden at the break in the first game of the Vlatko Andonovski era. And the first two subs of the Vlatko Andonovski era, Andy Sullivan is replacing Julie Ertz again. That was something that was planned coming into this game. Sullivan just last month played her first game this year for the U.S. and a big return for Lynn Williams, part of the title-winning North Carolina Courage at NWSL. It's her first appearance for her country in a year and a half. March of 2018, the She Believes Cup, the last time 26-year-old from Fresno saw the field for the U.S. New coach, new era, huge opportunity for all these players, Allie, to show Vlatko Andonovski what they can do.
Yeah, and also reward for their performance in the NWSL season. I mean, Andy Sullivan had a great season, and Lynn Williams made this roster over McDonald.
Second half underway. 3 goals in that first half for the United States. 2 of them from Carly Lloyd, another from Kristen Press. She was the other player subbed off here at the break. We'll see how the U.S. can finish out this second half from a commanding position. No changes so far for Sweden tonight. Sonnet trying to catch up to that ball. Really a touch out wide. Williams was blocked off there by Mona Anderson as she was trying to get involved for the first time tonight. And so what do you want to see from these players here in the second half? Just come on.
From the U.S.? John, from the U.S. Specifically, you know, I think, of course, more of the same, but I think more patience will benefit them. They're trying to work their way into methodical build-up, so the more they default into that and being comfortable playing out of pressure, the better this team is going to get over the long haul. But I think you stay the course right now.
It's Jakobsen now, cutting inside of short, is trying to recover. On the angle, Blackstenius flag's going to come up here for offside. She drifted in behind.
And from Sweden, I want to see some changes. I want to see Bennison get in the match. I like Kulashi.
Well, let's go down to Alex. What did Vlatko Andonovski have to say coming out for the second half?
Well, Vlatko said in the first half they did a good job controlling Sweden when they were on defense, but they have to be more aggressive in the middle block. He felt like they were sitting in the middle for too long, and with their energy, they could be doing more and they could be more aggressive.
There's again cut off on the long switch. Andy Sullivan there. Mariona Anderson. And I guess one of the big questions, we were debating this a lot yesterday. Do you just go with Vlatko? Do you just say the first name all the time? Has it become one of those things?
When it's this cold out, I'm going Vlatko. I cannot say Andonovski.
As he said to us yesterday when asked, how do you make this your team, Vlatko's team? Because if we win, it'll be Vlatko's team. If we lose, I don't know. But again,
so far, it's his.
Big duel on the outside there with Anderson. Thought she had it taken away. The last coach to lose their first game in charge of the U.S. team was actually April Heinrichs back in 2000. There's been a good, consistent series of results. Jill Ellis, of course, had 3 first games, including her 2 interim stints. The ball slid in there for Glasgow, sliding over by Sauerbrunn there. It's going to be out for a Sweden corner. He did bring one staff member with him, Milan Ivanovic, a teammate of his in the Indoor Soccer League MISL. Andonovski at one time was the league's Defender of the Year with the Kansas City Comets, and he spent those 2 coaching together in their time at NWSL. Anderson, the left back, will swing in this corner to the traffic. Sauerbrunn is up for it. We'll do it again.
And that's a good ball. That's where Sweden wants to drop it in. They usually crowd the 6 and aim for that near post. Get a lot of traffic in front of Nair.
Again, trying to put it right on top of her there. Oh, that was the ball. That was Nair rattling the frame of the goal there as she went up to knock that away. Anderson going for an Olympico goal. She'll clip in another dangerous cross towards Blackstenius, popped in the air, and Nair's going to come collect. And they're looking to go quick now for Williams. Sullivan trying to switch it out for Heath and couldn't get it all the way out there.
Good idea, though, by Sullivan.
But again, challenging Blackstenius in the air. Sullivan will pick up the loose ball. Through to get a touch to that one. Short trying to close on Sikiati Olma. Getting a touch there in front of Haran. Sullivan trying to recover. She got a tangle there with Haslani. It's going to be a free kick for the U.S. that Dahlkemper takes quickly. Lavelle, Lloyd wants it through. Still Lavelle driving her way around. That's the second Swedish defender. Now looking to cut it in. On the turn, Haran lost her footing and put it right at Lindahl in the end. Fourth save for her tonight.
know Horan gets a shot off, but how good is Lavelle and how she glides through the lines. She is one of the players that Blanco wants to get on the ball more often than not. And look, I don't know that happened in the Ellis era. I don't know they targeted certain players to have more touches than others, and I think Lavelle is someone that Blanco's going to look to highlight in this system.
We heard that from the players we talked to yesterday. They've really felt that from Andonovski so far. The relationship with the midfielders, so much emphasis on that playing through the midfielders. Williams couldn't get on the end of that pass from Lloyd.
And just their angles off of each other. You watch how they're moving off of one another. And sometimes you're finding Lavelle on the same side as Horan. He wants them in close proximity to one another.
Checking the video clips on the tablet there. Williams got inside. Lloyd rather the cross. Took a redirection in behind. Sullivan letting that fly. It's a one in the end. It really is a fascinating journey this man has taken. 43 years of age, Vlatko Andonovski, born in what was then Yugoslavia, what we now call North Macedonia. Played in the Macedonian League professionally for a time, came to the U.S. in 2000 and was playing professional indoor soccer. Had his best spells with the Kansas City Comets before becoming a coach in the first year of NWSL in Kansas City, and then with Reign FC the last couple of years. Lavelle again driving on, again cutting back, again looking for space. Lost her angle now. And we'll win a corner out of it in the end.
That's one of the reasons she plays on the right side of that midfield. It's so she can cut in on her left. This one just takes her too far outside the frame of the goal, and she has a really difficult angle, but still wins her team a corner kick.
The heat to take. Look at near post and nothing there.
How do you send a near post without Ertz on the pitch? You just can't.
One of those amazing things you know is coming, and yet no one in the world seems to be able to stop it.
You can't. It was like the early goal for the U.S. in the World Cup.
Short there, crowded off it by Ziggy. Here comes the press from the U.S. Hook was involved. Horan trying to get away from the traffic, couldn't quite do so. Out for a Sweden throw. We asked you about, the pressure, the responsibility of being the coach of the United States. Andonovski, he said, I understand every game, everyone expects you to win, and they expect you to win in a certain style. And he said, I know that. I knew that when I was taking this job. Good work on the outside there. And Williams, it breaks down as the cross took a redirection away from Lloyd. He said, I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't think that I could do that. Interception there on the far side by Sonic. And we've heard from former players just how personable he is, the personal relationships you talked about in the first half that he builds, his attention to detail. We saw that yesterday in practice, stopping practice, talking with Rose Lavelle about very minute things, how she's turning on a particular shoulder, how many touches.
2 steps this way. We heard that from multiple players. Take 2 steps this way, and how that changes everything. And a lot of it was just connection defensively between the midfielders.
As ever, how do you translate the things you might do as a club coach to the international game? Let's take a look back at this from Williams.
Football is football, and if you can dice someone up on the end like Lynn Williams does there, you can talk tactics all you want. When you've got that 1v1 mentality and ability, the U.S. always has something special to throw at you.
Fresno native who's been a star now for North Carolina Courage, winning multiple trophies with them. It's clipped over the top, flag staying down. Lavelle surveying her options from a narrow angle. She went for it herself, and Lindahl got a right paw on it to keep her out.
And why not by Lavelle? She's had a lot of touches in the early goings of this second half. Lloyd has checked off that back line. Lavelle gets running in behind, and now she's got space to get her head up.
Once again, still looking a bit deeper in there. It's only as far as Dahlkemper was knocked down. It's not trying to begin the break. And Sonnett's there to cut it off. Andonovski talked about transferring to the international game, the things that he does as a club coach. He said, I get it. You don't have a full 25 games and a full season and working with players every day, but he said, I've kept on some of the staff that Jill Ellis had deliberately for that purpose. I'm familiar with these players. Talked about games he would coach in NWSL where he said, boy, I wish I had her on my team. He says, now I have all of them on my team.
And now it's going to be about managing all of them. That's one of the biggest challenges of this U.S. team. And it's the honeymoon phase right now. But as you get closer to that Olympics, assuming they qualify, that's when it's going to get more difficult.
2 teams out of 8 will qualify from CONCACAF, and that tournament will begin at the end of January. Works down there off the foot of Aslani. Heath, whether she got a touchdown or not, it finds Lloyd. Williams on the far side. Hasn't scored a goal for the U.S. since 2017. She's going to wait for this cross-field switch. Williams crossing attack. Heath saved again by Lindahl. 6th stop of the night for her.
An incredible work from Tobin Heath. She's the one who initiates this play and then springs into the attack to get just on the outside of the 6 and end this action that Lynn Williams began.
Heath with the assist on Lloyd's 2nd goal tonight. Williams able to clip a cross in, just too far for Horan, who got turned around there by Jakobsen. Pressure there by the U.S. forces the giveaway. Heath picks it up. 1-2 there with their Portland Thorns teammate Lindsey Horan. Sullivan picks it up. She'll play for Sonnet. Lavelle opening up on the far side. The return, Sonnet on the run. Flipping across into the middle and played in behind there. Magdalena Eriksson playing safe in front of Lindahl, out for a U.S. corner, 5th of the night. Innovation on the far side. That's the Nordeca. That's the supporter section for Columbus Crew games here at Mofra Stadium. This ball is swung in and handed away by Kuhlberg. Braxton is working hard there to keep it. Aslani running with her. Come to the near side for Sophia Jakobsen, working on Casey Short. Jakobsen short, goes to ground. Able to cut it back for Glass, who couldn't control it cleanly. She tried to stop the attack with a foul. And no advantage play there by the referee.
And guess who's there again? It's Tobin Heath. Her work rate has been fantastic tonight. But this is the one with Casey Short going against Jakobsen, and there's Tobin Heath defending in her own 18-yard box, winning that ball, and trying to send the U.S. on the break.
Approach the hour mark. Mallory Pugh is preparing to come on as the 3rd sub of the night for the U.S. There's another one that Andonovski talked to us about yesterday, trying to cobble together 90 minutes between Pugh and Heath. End of the long season, great first touch by Tobin Heath. She's not going to let Carly Lloyd pick that ball back up. Williams making a run. It was meant for her. It was blocked by Bjorn. Still a chance for the U.S. in this possession. Here's Carly Lloyd. 2 goals already and an assist. And will clip it in, stabbed away by Eriksson. And it will be Tobin Heath coming off for Pugh at the next opportunity. An hour gone here in Columbus. Vlatko Andonovski's first game in charge of the United States. They built a 3-0 lead in the first half hour of this one. Lavelle accelerating past Bjorn. Rose Lavelle, comfortable save. Number 7 tonight by Hedvig Lindahl. There's a relentlessness from the U.S. right now that Lindahl, playing out quick, gave the ball back away.
And they've got Sweden pinned in. But here's the lovely touch by Tobin Heath. Right around Gloss. Then Carly Lloyd continues her run wide.
He's not as done at an assist on the USA's 3rd goal tonight.
Making their 3rd change, USA substitution. Leaving the game, number 17, Joey.
Now Pugh, another player that is looking to make a good first impression after not seeing the field in the knockout round at the World Cup. Great ovation for the Cincinnati native Rose Lavelle, who would come off to be replaced by Sam Ewis.
Making your fourth change, USA substitution. Leaving the game, number 16, Rose Lavelle.
Really positive performances from both Heath and Lavelle.
We will see a debut for the 17-year-old Hanna Bennison of Sweden. She is ready to come on. As the U.S. off the free kick will work it wide here for Pugh, her first touch of the night. So quickly taken, throw short. Second attempt to get a cross in. They'll be out for a corner. Two substitutions in the wings right now. We're taken short. Here back for Sauerbrunn. To the far side for Sonnet. She'll try to get herself back onside and did so. And another corner all the way. Sweden will hold on to these subs while they're defending the set pieces. Aslani and Sibiata Olma, who will be coming off here for Sweden. It's ball in this time, skipping across, short was close to it. Pugh picks it up, she'll send it back in the middle, and it's up over the bar. So a very cool moment here. 17-year, and she just turned 17 last month as well. She's a young 17-year-old for that matter. Hanna Bennison, starter this year in the Swedish league as Rosengård won a title. In fact, scored the key goal that all but clinched the title for them with about a month to go in the season. She started playing with them as a 15-year-old. Earlier this year was with the U23s. Played against the U.S. for that matter. But boy, the journalists we talked to, the players we talked to, they are all excited to see her tonight, Al.
They are, and the players said, look, we haven't seen much of her yet, but it says a lot for Peter to bring her into this environment because she could be playing with the youth team, but he's giving her that ascension to this level.
Making your second change, Sweden substitution.
Lorenzo Kalashi, 20 years of age, just her 6th international appearance. Return to the team in October after not being a part of the World Cup.
By number 20,
I think Gerhardt's and Erdmann. Those are the two players I want to see, and Janogy.
Bennison, for that matter, Peter Gerhardt's and the Sweden coach told us yesterday she was actually in contention to be part of the World Cup squad this year at the age of 16 at the time. Now this week starts Saturday strong with the big noon Saturday game of the week. Maryland taking on Justin Fields and #1 Ohio State on Fox and the Fox Sports app. As that cross is going to come all the way through there. We are legally required to mention Ohio State football at least once while we're in Columbus for these games. And so we see it often in these games out, and the subs start to come in, the rhythm sort of goes out. What do you want to keep seeing here? There you go.
That beanie, right?
What do you want to keep seeing here from the U.S. even as the changes start coming in to finish this game out?
Well, I'm really curious to see how Pugh does on the wing. I mean, she's one of the players that I've talked about could potentially benefit from this coaching change. Rocco providing perhaps more of that methodical structure in the build-up, getting more players around her so she can combine and get herself in free space ultimately, because that's when she can do damage and get her confidence back up.
Still just the age of 21. Quickly, Lloyd past one defender, takes the bump from the second, trying to cut it into a dangerous area in the middle. Williams was close to it. It's going to be out for a corner.
The run from deep from Carly Lloyd offsets the Swedish defense, and then she cuts the recovering defender. It's been a tough day from Kuhlberg from Sweden. U.S. can't get the finishing touch.
Sullivan to take the corner now. In the middle there, no one there, but awkwardly dealt with by the Swedish defense. Pugh going to hold it in, couldn't do so. Kulashi just on the field. He was hounded to get this ball back. It was Williams there with the touch, and it was actually last off of Kulashi, out for a U.S. throw. And showing off that speed. It was that speed that almost actually kept her from being a part of things at Pepperdine. That was where she played college soccer. Every time the Pepperdine coaches came to scout her, she was away with the track team. And they didn't get to see her until very late in the process and basically had to take a chance on her. Story told of a practice session without field lights that they had to basically set up temporary lights, and the coaching staff sat on the back of a truck to try to see her because they had heard about her. She was the first player ever given a full ride at Pepperdine. Has played her whole career now with, it was then Western New York, now North Carolina Courage, and getting a second opportunity with the United States. And Vlatko Andonovski, more than a year and a half after her last game for her national team.
And one of the great stories of what the NWSL can produce. A player that would have just continued on and never have seen the light of day with this U.S. team had it not been for that league.
Team is trying to hold that up. Pressure from Sullivan. Clean tackle, says the referee. Mewis comes away with it. Williams on a dead sprint to her right, instead looking to go left for Pugh. Alex, what are you hearing down there from the U.S. bench?
Well, Vlatko has really been directing each play from the bench. He's telling Mallory Pugh to press before Casey Short receives the ball. He's telling her to take 2 steps wide, then look inside. And he's pulled almost every midfielder aside to give them a little tip. And he told Sam Mewis before she went in to create some space. 2
steps. That's going to become the thing with Vlatko Andonovski.
You better have a good dance move if that's going to be his thing.
It's a good dance move by Horan then. We saw Andy Sullivan at one point coming over, getting instructions on a dead ball situation. Again, good footwork by Horan. Mewis knocked away by Kuhlberg. Lloyd's pressure forces an errant pass. Sonnet now. We'll hand back to Horan. Looking to clip that in. Lloyd sitting on a hat trick, but couldn't get on the end of it.
Well, here's the footwork from Horan. Just dices up the young 17-year-old Benison.
The great Horan, as she's known in my hometown of Portland. Williams intercepting that pass out of the back. Quickly in for Pugh. Good recovery by Kuhlberg there. Played back into a dangerous area there by the Swedish defense. Pugh couldn't do anything with it, though. Lost it a long run forward before handing it off to Jakobsen. Kulashi intercepted by Short. 2 more subs are in the wings for Sweden right now. Mewis. Short for Lloyd. Williams is in the middle. Pugh has it wide. Pugh running it on Gloss. He blocks the cross out for yet another U.S. corner. Minutes to go. A busy night for Hedvig Lindahl. 7 saves that she's made, 3 goals that she has conceded. Andy Sullivan standing over another U.S. corner. Into a good area. Lloyd throwing her body in late. Stabbed away there by Bjorn. Fans certainly love the attempt there. And yet it comes to nothing there from Sonnet. She'll scream at the referee about it.
My college coach always said, don't go through the legs. The other players got the body position on you, can body you off the ball. Jakobsen does just that, wins possession back.
So Blackstenius, her night is done.
Making their fourth change, Sweden
Anna Onvegård, 22-year-old,
number 11,
just burst onto the scene last couple years in the Swedish league. She actually moved mid-season to Rosengård, scored 9 goals in 9 games as they won the title. 14 goals this year, was the most in the Swedish league, and struggled to get off the bench in the World Cup, and also going to get Julia Karlinas, 26-year-old, making just her 4th international appearance, was not a part of the World Cup squad.
With Onvegård coming in, she's not as pacey as Baksenius up top. She's a better combination player, and I think with Kulashi underneath, that's something that Sweden can look to try to utilize as an outlet. Because right now the U.S. has had Sweden pinned in. They can't even advance past halfway.
Thank you.
Correction. The last substitution was Sweden's fourth change.
On the run, Williams trying down the end of it.
And that last play by Sam Hughes is going to be the evolution, I think, of her as a player. She's so good. You saw how strong she's botting off players trying to make a challenge, but then it's slowing down and putting some texture on that final ball.
Goes for Jakobsen now. And a cross off the knee of Sauerbrunn out for a corner. Listen, they're not as busy as her counterpart. Just one save that she has had to make tonight. US has outshot Sweden 13-4. 10 of those 13 on target. We've seen this earlier in this half where they're trying to drop this ball right on top of her and all the traffic, and Anderson to take it. They're slammed into her left post, trying to keep it out on the last one. They're looking for the same thing. Short there with a touch. It's going to be out for another corner. Koroleva, the referee, is just going to try to manage some of this. A bit further out, Lloyd got a header. Short there, a touch. Back one, it goes to Anderson. Half-hearted appeals for a handball there as that cross was blocked. Sweden does well to keep it in the end as the U.S. is looking to break out. It's clipped in here now. Rolled back in front, and there's a goal. It was Bjorn on the cutback, and it's Onvegård who's celebrating the goal there. Been scoring tons of goals in the Swedish league, and with 15 minutes to go, the Swedes are on the board here in Columbus.
And it looked a little haphazard initially. Here's the poor clearance by the U.S. They can't clear their end. And it's that touch right there. Coming back into Bennison. The vision of the 17-year-old and the texture of that final ball is something special. An immediate impact. Bjorn gets around the edge, and then you've got 2 runners from Sweden converging at that near post. And it's Onvegård who gets the tap in. But that is something special.
Got some momentum here. See if they can do anything with it. That pass was too far for Jakobsen. Sauerbrunn with Kulashi there pressure and gets it away for Sonnet. place was one-way traffic for most of it, but let's see if that goal changes anything or not. Moving through the pass for Pugh to chase and alert Lindahl there up off the line to come get it. Sauber rising up there on the guard.
And the U.S. just continues to pick off possession from Sweden and those entry balls that they're trying to slice through the center of the park.
Lloyd drawing the foul there. Bjorn.
Oh, here's the last look at the special touch by the young 17-year-old Bennison in behind to Bjorn. And listen, Nair has to cover that near post. Sweden knows it. Glancing touch back across her.
Just her second international goal for Anvergaard for all the goals that she scored in the Swedish league. Second in 14 internationally. Last was a year ago. This one's coverage is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Just trying to close out a victory on the opening night of the Vlatko Andonovski era. Lloyd 2 goals and an assist. Kristen Prescott the other. They brought the subs in. Here's the second half has gone along on a cold, below freezing night here in Columbus, Ohio. And credit to the fans here that did come and did stick it out. You see Anna Anvergaard there. Scored that goal a few minutes ago. Shutout bid for Melissa Nair tonight. See if they can cause some more trouble. Short was pitching up there, and that ball came up over the top, and now Sauber and Nair not on the same page. It's an empty net. It's a second goal. Anvergaard there as Jakobsen played the ball inside. And all that good work from the U.S. at the back tonight undone in pretty quick succession, and all of a sudden it's a one-goal game.
One of the few times they've tried to play a ball in behind into a wider area. This ball's laced by Bjornen, and then Nair off her line. The poor communication between her and Sauerbrunn. She's trying to just shepherd that ball back to her goalkeeper, body off her player, but Jakobsen gets that touch on it, and then Nair way out of position, and Anvergaard with a cool finish because there was still a defender to beat.
So 1 goal and 13 international appearances. The 22-year-old Anvergaard, and she's got 2 in about 5 minutes here. Coming on as a sub, and how does the U.S. react to this? Sauerbrunn taking the space forward. Lloyd looking to roll that in. Long run for Horan, not going to get there. Erickson cleaning that up with Lindahl.
Well, that's how you react. Becky Sauerbrunn taking a positive touch, playing a positive pass. Carly Lloyd checking off that back line.
Horan got herself back onside. Going to play to the space for Williams to chase. She's going to get there. Lynn Williams, Pugh's making the first run. Cut back into the middle. No one there. Except for Bennison. Short stepping forward to pick off the pass. Jakobsen goes to ground. Short went down as well. It's going to be a penalty.
And it really hasn't been a game that has been about the left side of the U.S., the right side of Sweden. This time, Casey Short gets the better of Jakobsen.
No VAR on this one.
No VAR.
Credit to Short for making the play. Jakobsen going to ground there. And it will be Carly Lloyd who will attempt to seal her hat trick tonight. 2 first-half goals, including a gem of a chip over Hedvig Lindahl. And Lloyd an opportunity from the spot to grab her 3rd of the night. And she puts it up over the bar.
Did not see that coming. Well, here's a look at the foul on Casey Short. Jakobsen trying to recover. And I think Casey Short trips herself up before Jakobsen even gets there.
Tonight's attendance, 20,900.
And then Lloyd blows that one over the top.
So frustrated Carly Lloyd after that one. 2 more subs coming for Sweden right now. Samuelsson, who's on now, a player that had been a regular for them at the 2015 World Cup and the Olympics. A series of injuries keeping her out from this last World Cup, her first appearance in over a year for a former teammate of Heather O'Reilly's at Arsenal. And Yanogi as well coming on. She's made her debut in January and has been climbing the charts quickly. So 6 subs in total made by Sweden now tonight. The U.S. have made 4.
And Yanogi's a spark plug off the bench. Player that's so good running at the opposition.
Sofia Jakobsen. Play into the space there for Kalashi to chase. And Sauerbrunn cleans it up. And there sends it right out. Well, this thing has a really different feel to it in the last 10 minutes or so. The first 70. Jakobsen getting a dangerous cross in. Sauer was defending there. Moran comes away with it. Williams wants the ball to chase. And it's not the right angle.
And final substitution for Sweden.
And look, it can be part the substitutions. You talked about the break of rhythm that happens when players come into the match, but I also think as soon as Sweden scored that goal, it becomes more difficult for the U.S. to play out. They're under more pressure mentally. Now the second goal comes in, and they just don't look as confident when they're trying to play out the back. The resolution has to be there.
View from short. Lloyd wants it through. She's going to get it. Flag comes up for offside. The play's dead. Well, you said in the first half, as you take a look back at the offside decision here.
And the ball just comes late. No pressure on Pugh. You know where Lloyd's going. Put that ball out earlier.
Samuelsson not able to connect the pass with Yanogi. When it was 3-0 early, you said, listen, if you're Sweden, don't shut it off. Keep going. You're going to learn from this. Is it similar for the U.S. now?
Yes.
Just keep going, learn from it, even if you're making mistakes.
Exactly. You're exactly right, John. And that's playing under that pressure when things aren't going as smoothly. Can you still be brave and play out of the back? Can you still be smart in the decisions that you're making to allow your team to find space, to break down the opposition? That's going to be the challenge with any manager coming in to tell his team to continue to play the way he sees them ultimately playing come Olympics.
We also have a game this weekend in Jacksonville against Costa Rica. That will end up the year. You see the U.S. men will be in action here in FS1 a week from Tuesday against Cuba. As the American soccer year comes to a close. MLS Cup this weekend. We saw the NWSL final recently. USL final coming up this weekend as well. We'll rest up and load up and go back at it in 2020. As that broke down there for Jakobsen. Pugh stepping in. Sauerbrunn again looking to play the direct pass, but it's out past everyone.
A different look for Sweden with some of these substitutions with Kalashi in that 10 role. Very different from Asllani. She's not as slashy as a player, but she's going to connect. And you're seeing what impact Benison can have. Different questions being asked of the U.S. right now.
Again over the top, Short trying to recover on the ball for Jakobsen. Who gets across in the middle. Dawn Kemper was there. Jakobsen with the speed to keep it in play. Then trying to get a middle for Kulashi. Flag's going to come up for offside. As Yanogi was trying to get herself back onside. Catherine Nesbitt, who was an assistant referee at the World Cup, making that call. Well, what's he thinking now? First half, you said he would be just, thank you, I'm happy at 3-0. What does he think about things now?
He's like, hold on, give me the W in my first cap as a manager. No, I mean, with this team, think you've got to continue to encourage them to play out, but you're sitting up 3-2, 5 minutes left in the match. You also have to have end-of-the-match tactics, and that's something that's important.
Sauerbrunn stepping in there. He was able to keep under pressure, couldn't connect the pass with Pugh.
My guess is he's going to have a few more grays by the end of his tenure.
It always seems to happen, doesn't it? Pass breaks down. Bjorn, who slid back to center back for a midfield position with these subs here in the second half. And the teenager Benison stepping in there to try to win the ball, though Pugh picks it back up for the U.S. Now can they keep it? Well, to step forward there, flying through in the end. In fact, Samuelsson is now popping up on the right side, and Gloss has switched to the left back. Short intercepting that one. You couldn't quite pull off that move. It wins a foul in the end. Peter Gerhardsson, the Sweden coach, popping up off his seat to bark at the referee about it.
And one of the things the U.S. did well in that first half was changing it from one side to the other. They've been stuck on this left side for the last 10 minutes or so. Whether it's Sauerbrunn dropping and getting the ball in a deep position so she can spring the other side, or a midfielder playing out, they've got to figure out how to get it over to the weak side.
Here it comes down. Sonnet looking long. Williams was coming back forwards it. Lloyd got the touch in front of the defender. Carly Lloyd now a chance to complete the hat trick. She's pushed off it. Mewis the late run. Her shot was blocked. It looked like a handball on Jakobsen, and it is.
Well, initially I thought this was going to be a poor pass, but Carly Lloyd does incredibly well to beat it. Eriksson there, and then cuts across the middle. I think she's got to release that ball sooner. But you can't blame her for thirsting for that one. She's had such a good night.
The U.S. will take this time. They'll take their time on the free kick. Lindahl's made 7 saves officially tonight. 10 shots that she has faced on target. Sullivan now standing over the free kick. She was looking over at Dr. Andonovski to get instructions for it. Everyone back to defend for Sweden. They've left no one up for a counter. Flipped in Lloyd in the area. Couldn't get to it. Benison as far as Sonnet. The pass to Janogy now. Eriksson on the near side, and it's good work tracking back there by Williams to prevent that pass. Mewis into the space for Lloyd. Lindahl's going to come all the way out there to pick this up. Into the 90th minute now. Heard from downstairs of 2 minutes. Stoppage time on the way. Well, really, all said and done, it's a pretty fun night. 5 goals tonight. We've seen interesting things from both of these teams. Great rivalry renewed. The pressure again. Williams picking it up. With Sullivan doing the work up front. And that's going to be a free kick for the U.S. and a yellow card coming out. Helena Eriksson showed it.
And it's become incredibly open in these waning moments. The clip on Williams. And the U.S. just lost a bit of the control of the match in the second half.
So into 2-minute stoppage time. Trying to catch her breath from that sprint out of her box up in the midfield. And Sullivan again to play this ball in. And Sonnet peeling away on the far side as an option. She'll get it. She'll just stick this thing in the corner and try to milk some seconds. Sullivan, Sonnet, trying to return and does. Wilson and Sullivan battling down there in the corner, and it's going to be a corner for the U.S. 1 minute exhausted. Here of the two in stoppage time. As Alexi Lawless said, no one remembers the how, they only remember the what. Did you win or did you not? That man is almost there to a win in his first game as coach of the United States.
Some of us remember the how.
Time enough for one more attack for Sweden. Nogi there, committing a foul, coming up over the back of Sonnet. Ninth full-time head coach in what is now the 35th year of international competition for the women of the United States. Vlatko Andonovski inheriting a World Cup winner, taking over for a FIFA World Coach of the Year. He get a W on opening night. Yes, he can. There's the final whistle. 3 first-half goals, enough to withstand the second-half surge from Sweden. And a 3-2 win for the United States. Getting life underway under Vlatko Andonovski. Allie, what's your takeaway from this?
Biggest winner, Carly Lloyd. Besides Vlatko getting that W, that number 9 role is up for grabs with Alex Morgan out with pregnancy. Yes, she's going to try to make a comeback, but Carly Lloyd made a statement tonight. She was incredibly active. I think the way that she helped the team advance in the final third was as important as her 2 goals. Could have been 3 with that penalty. But Carly Lloyd had a massive night. And look, you had 4 or 5 days of training. This is just the beginning. Let's not take anything out of context. This is a new era, and what this team looks like in 3 months, 5 months from now is not what we're seeing tonight, but it's still a good start.
For that matter, a matter of weeks really going into the new year, and opening camp in January and the Olympic qualifiers at the end of January, the clock ticking quickly as the U.S. tries to turn it around. Lloyd and Aslani, former teammates actually at club level at Manchester City, having a chat at the end there. Couldn't get her hat trick, put the penalty up over the bar, but 2 goals and an assist for her. And a win for Vlatko Andonovski in his first game in charge. His second game will come this weekend against Costa Rica. Well, that's all for us tonight here in frigid Columbus. For Sarah Walsh, Heather O'Reilly, Alexi Lawless, Alex Curry, and Allie Wagner, I'm John Strong saying good night from Columbus, Ohio, as the United States wins the first game of the Vlatko Andonovski era, 3-2 over Sweden.